Hey, we love showcasing Aussie success stories in the world of business, and there's an Australian company that is making serious waves in global medical technology. 4DMedical has actually just broken into the ASX 200, which is the top 200 companies on our share market. Its share price is up more than 1,300% in the past 12 months. And this rapid growth is built around a piece of technology called CTVQ. It takes a standard lung scan and turns it into a detailed map of how the lungs are actually functioning without injections or additional radiation. It's now been cleared by US regulators and adopted by the renowned Mayo Clinic, which has been ranked as the #1 hospital in the world for 8 consecutive years. This is a great success story, I believe, out of Melbourne. And Dr. Andreas Fouras is the founder and CEO of 4DMedical. He's on the line for us tonight. Dr. Fouras, thank you so much for your time.
A real pleasure. Thank you.
Congratulations. Firstly, this has been an incredible rise and so much success linked to the business and your products.
Yeah, look, we've had a great year, and we've brought out our third generation product about 6 months ago, and key hospitals in the United States have been lining up to get behind the technology, use it, and for the benefit of their patients. And stock market has rewarded us for it.
Just explain for the average person listening your key flagship product, how it works and how it's changed the game for lungs.
Well, in the lungs, before you have a procedure, you're going to have a surgery, or if there's suspicion of certain diseases, the doctors often want to look at how the blood is flowing through your lungs and also how the air is flowing. And there's a standard test today that you can do, for doctors to see that. That's called a nuclear VQ test, but it's quite challenging for everybody involved. You have to inhale radioactive materials for them to stick to your lungs. You have to be injected with radioactive material into your blood and spend 45 minutes in the scanner. And we've been able to come up with some technology that allows us to take the CT scan that almost everybody in that situation has already had, apply our software to it, and it saves the patient from having that radioactive material in their body, and it saves the doctor weeks waiting to get the information back before they can proceed with treating the patient. So it's a great win-win situation for the hospital, the patient, and it's why folks have really been selling so well. People have been lining up, as I said, to get their hands on it over in the US.
And how have you commercialised this? Is it per scan? Is it per device? Subscription, licensing deals? Just explain how the business model works overall.
Yeah, so the simple version of that is that we've had a great win, and that Medicare, or CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid in the United States, have agreed to pay $650 per test as part of our incentivization of hospitals to take this up. The doctors or the hospital gets to keep $150 of that, and $500 comes to us, $500 per test. And that's for something that, as a piece of software that has practically no cost for us to deliver. So, 99% margin on $500 per test. And right now there's 1 million of these tests a year being done in the United States. We think with our approach, that could easily grow to being 1.5 million. But even at 1 million, 1 million lots of $500 is a $500 million US opportunity at 99% margin. So not only a great opportunity, as I said, for the patients and the doctors, but for our shareholders as well.
Absolutely. When you talk about what comes next, and I know people always ask you this probably straight after you've had a lot of success, but what are the key markets you're looking to enter? Or does America, given you've now just had FDA approval in the States and you're dealing with the top hospitals, is that enough on your plate for now?
Look, we're fortunate that, along with the support we've gotten from the stock market, we're well capitalized. We have over $230 million cash in the bank, and that means that now we can start looking at expansion across a couple of different areas. So, one of those is where we'll be taking the technology to Europe. We've just, in the last few weeks, had the regulatory clearance, CE mark. So we're regulatory clearance equivalent to the FDA and in the UK. And of course, as a proudly Aussie company, we're overwhelmingly, we've worked really hard to keep the vast majority of our workforce here, even as a global company here in Australia. where we'll be pushing hard to bring the product to Australia as well. So we'll have that geographic expansion, and at the same time, we have the next generation of products coming down the pipeline that could potentially grow our market size by as much as 5 times.
Just lastly, Doctor, before we let you go, in relation to artificial intelligence and medicine and surgery and innovation, where is AI going to lead and grow medicine into, do you think? What is the glass ceiling in the future of AI and medicine?
Look, I'm a strong believer, and our company, 4DMedical, are strong believers in having technology sit there side by side with doctors to deliver the best quality healthcare and deliver the best of both worlds. And, I think that's at least, as far as I can see, for the next 10 to 20 years in the United States and, Australia and Europe. I think that's where it's going to stay for now.
Very exciting. Well, congratulations on all your success, a great Aussie success story, and we look forward to reading and learning more about your expansion into the United States. We really appreciate your time tonight on Money News.
Well, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
That's Dr. Andreas Fouras, the founder and CEO of 4DMedical. As I mentioned, they've just broken into the ASX 200, the top 200 companies on our share market, with the share price increasing by more than 1,300% in the past 12 months.